Steve Bruce says he does not send out his Newcastle United team to play badly, and of course he doesn't. But there is little evidence of what they are trying to achieve after another fortuitous night in which the head coach was again forced to defend his tactics. The problem is, supporters and observers are scratching their head as to what those tactics are right now. Bottom of the expected goals, XG, table for over a year. They continue to give it large in the Excel department. Expected luck, that is. To progress past League Two opposition. Here they needed a late equaliser from Jonjo Shelvey to force penalties and a spot kick so wild from Newport defender Brandon Cooper that it may well have landed in Cardiff. Indeed, passage to the last 8 was the only positive from an otherwise desperate display. It's a results business, they say, and Bruce's aren't terrible, far from it. But performances are, and that is the concern among a fanbase who see little identity or progression about their team. Bruce disagrees. I'm manager of Newcastle United and, if you don't win or perform, you get criticised, he said. I agree we didn't play well enough, but now all of a sudden it's questioning tactics. I find the whole thing disappointing. We don't go out there not wanting to play well. The outcome was harsh on Mike Flynn's supposed underdogs, who led from the 5th minute when Tristan Abraham's shot through the floppy palms of Mark Gillespie. The goalkeeper's error was symptomatic of a weak and witless Newcastle performance during the first half. On the eve of the game, Bruce had spoken forcefully of the need to start positively. Well, at least he told the media as much. His players clearly weren't listening. Given his team's apparent indifference to their task, he probably should have made his first substitution long before the hour mark, when he turned to his £60 million front pairing of Callum Wilson and Joe Linton, who later missed in the shootout. Off came Andy Carroll, whose presence to that point had seemingly been the sole focus of Newcastle's game plan, namely, a hopeful punt in the striker's direction. That they were still within 1 goal of a shootout owed much to Newport's profligacy. In the 3 minutes before half-time, both midfielder Scott Bennett and forward Padraig Hammond leathered narrowly wide from positions of promise inside the area. Newcastle's only moment of genuine threat was a Jacob Murphy drive from range that was repelled by goalkeeper Nick Townsend. The final half-hour offered much more by way of attacking territory, and so it should. But Townsend's most taxing duty was taking goal kicks, and that said much for Newcastle's finishing before Shelvey's late intervention, a fine curling effort into the top corner. It then took a pair of goal line clearances from Newport defenders to ensure penalties, and a stoppage time victory for Newcastle would have been unjust. Bruce disagreed. In my opinion, we deserved to go through after a difficult first half. In particular, he said. But you have to credit Newport. You can understand why they've beaten Watford, Swansea, Middlesbrough, Leeds, and Leicester. They're a decent footballing side. We knew that after watching them against Bolton on Saturday. But we are through, and I thought we played very well in the last half hour. A fourth-tier team who troubled Bolton, however, should not be causing the same problems for a Premier League side. But again, Bruce and his players found a way to survive, and that is to their credit. He has brought good luck if not a good look to Newcastle, and while that remains, so will he.